Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to the videos. This is a paid request, this time from the movie reviewer next door. Thank you so much, man. You and others have been very kind on that. For those interested in requesting a review, a topic, a tier list, a re-review, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 1994 film Guardian Angel, which I have seen this film before with Cynthia Rothrock. It also has, for a little bit, of Marshall Teague. He's the guy in Roadhouse that said the immortal line, "I used to fuck guys like you in prison," right before he did what I call the Black Dog. I know it's another Patrick Swayze movie, but takes that throat of Marshall Teague, rips it out. Could be called the Black Dog. Hey, dog rips your throat out. Swayze was in Black Dog. Called the Black Dog. Yeah. But he's in this for a little bit because they're both cops. They're both in love with each other. And while Cynthia Rothrock is not a great actress, I have to be honest, she's not that great of an actress. But I do like her fighting. I do like her... How do I put it? I liked her look. I liked her style. I liked her gumption, if that's even a word. And this is one of those movies it's a tolerable movie. I would say if you want to break into Cynthia Rothrock films, you probably want to check out like China O'Brien or one of those movies. Or honestly, probably her Hong Kong stuff, because some people would say, well, a lot of people would say her Hong Kong stuff was a lot better. Righting wrongs. Even No Retreat, No Surrender 2, which I liked more than this. So yeah, I would say some of those films are better first looks into Cynthia Rothrock and what she could do. But this is tolerable because at least it's one of those movies that has that 90s feel, that pretty much every 5 minutes it feels there's another fight scene. But the story, the villains, the rest of the types of action is pretty meh. Especially compared to, I think this is PM Entertainment, so compared to other PM Entertainment films, I felt like there could have been more done in the other types of action department. But if you like to see a decent amount of Cynthia Rothrock fights, at least there's that. Or you get lines like, "You want a discount? Go to Kmart." Sure, some people are like, what the fuck is Kmart? Pretty much, like I said, Cynthia Rothrock is a cop. Her partner and boyfriend is Marshall Teague. It's one of those that, typical, there's a meeting, it goes bad. At one point there's a car chase where I swear they're speeding up the film. And the action is a bit wonky at first, because the way the action scenes are shot a lot of times at first, it's how do I put it? The camera's right next to the actor, and then right next to the actor, so you're not getting the full body feel, smooth choreography that should be showcased. But it felt as if the movie went on. I think I thought this when I first saw it. It felt like someone fired the director, and then they got a different director, and he knew how to film the fight scenes better as the movie went on. But yeah, it's a lazy plot that you've seen. At one point, she goes undercover as a hooker. There's a counterfeiting ring. There's some car chases. At one point, her hubby gets killed, and she's out of there. And that's where she kind of becomes a guardian angel, as in a bodyguard. What I should mention about the car chase is that when it crashes through the store, most of the store is empty. It's like when it crashes through the store, there's like all this empty shit, and then there's a boat. Why most of the store is fucking empty, I don't know. I know that it's mostly empty, but there's like a boat in there. Now the boat's there so the car could have something to crash in, but I'm like, can't you... I know it's a low-budget film, but you can't decorate a little bit more? Put some cabinets over there, put a desk over there, put some other shit in there. Get some tables at least. Put some fucking tables up or something. But just how like big such of it was empty. I'm like, well, there goes the. That shows how low the budget was. A boat and a few chairs. That's all that's in the store. And that's the thing. There's the director. There was some incompetent such in this movie that hurts the film. You know, there's little stuff like that. For example, there's a bit with Cynthia Rothrock on a horse, and she's chasing someone down. Now, of the up-close shots of her, you see this big row of trees right behind her as she's riding. Like, imagine she's riding, and you see all these trees behind her. Real close. To the fact that branches are pretty much hitting her in the damn face. But then, when she gets... I think there's a point where she gets dragged. All of a sudden she's in a field, and the trees look like they're a couple hundred yards back. I mean, wait a minute. So in one shot, the trees are right next to her. She's like 5 inches away. The next shot, she's being dragged, and they're like hundreds of yards away. Wasn't really good either editing, or the director didn't care. And Marshall T, there's not much to talk about him because he's in the film for like 10 minutes. I'm still decent for him to be in there. You know, he's not a bad fighter or anything, but he's in 10 minutes. Not much to mention. And the villain in this sucked. You have this, I don't remember her name, but it's a female villain. And you think, okay, it's a female villain. Maybe there's going to be some big fight scene at the end. Maybe this lady was hired because she's a good fighter. Apparently not. And also, she fucking struggled with the English language as much as I'm doing this review. She struggled even more with the English language. So. But yeah, after all this, her fiancé dies. And she becomes a bodyguard to this guy who's a bit of a fucking prick. And the guy's hiring her because I want you to protect me from my crazy ex-girlfriend. And lo and behold, how lucky it is, the ex-girlfriend of this guy just has to be the girl that got her fiance killed. Who escaped prison because apparently this prison, for some fucking reason, I never understood this. The girl escapes from the prison, and in this prison, there's a bit where there's a section that the roof is made of mesh wire. Like wire, like it might be like a chain link fence on top for the roof of this. And the reason that it was bothersome is because the top's like underneath. I'm like, what you waiting for the shoot? There's fucking big old holes in this mesh wire, and she shoots them. I guess she had the common sense to shoot them, just fuck it. I could see through you, and you could see through it to me. And now I see through you with these fucking bullets. So why weren't they not shooting at her? I don't know, there's a mesh wire roof, and the top's like, I don't know what to do with this. Can I shoot through it? Well, she can. It just looked really weird, really cheap, and just made the cops really, really fucking stupid. So lo and behold, there's a chopper, and she gets on the chopper, she escapes. So the movie at times is predictable. The guy she's hired to protect is a prick, but then lo and behold, they're gonna fall in love with each other. Now, the reason I don't hate the film is because, like I said, at least there's a decent amount of fight scenes. Cynthia Rothrock is good at what she does. She even at one point does her scorpion kick, which is a very cool looking kick, where her bat leg rises up and hits the guy in the head like a scorpion tail. The villain, you get some quirky moments. The villain lights a guy's crotch on fire in a bar. You don't see that every day. The fight scenes, there's a variety of places. There's one in a bar, there's one in a pool, there's one at a polo game. There's even a point where the maid, I think, is trying to poison her. And you find out the maid's working for the bad guy. And Cynthia Rothrock kicks the maid out the fucking window to her death. Like she should have said, "You're fired." That would have been better. If Cynthia Rothrock kicked the maid out the window to her death. And then she leaned up and said, "You're fired." Maybe they... Well, I mean, it worked for Arnold. Actually, this would have been the same year, 94, or True Lies, so could have said that. And if this came out technically before, like a few months before, would it be Arnold do it? Missed opportunity. But again, like Cynthia Rothrock, she's not the best actress. And this is coming from a guy that I sincerely think Jeff Speakman's a good actor. In Street Night, Deadly Outbreak, Perfect Weapon. Mark Dacascos, I think, does a generally good job in Only the Strong and Drive. And Jean-Claude Van Damme. I do like him as a martial artist, but I don't mind him as an actor. I really don't. Maybe because his presence. Maybe because I know he has... He's that native... So he's going to have a struggle with the English language. I give him maybe a bit more of a pass, but he still has that presence, and still better than a lot of the people I've seen, like Jalal Murray or some of these other guys. Alexander Nevsky. This is better than any movie that guy's done, Alexander Nevsky. This is better than that. But yeah, this is a movie that it does have its issues, does have its problems. Even the ending, there's no big fight with the villain. It's just a speedboat chase that's kind of meh. Like, pretty much Cynthia Rothrock gets on it, punches her once, leaves, speedboat explodes. And maybe then why the fuck did they hire this lady as a villain? She can't act, she can barely talk. And I guess she doesn't even have the fight background to back that up. Because there's no big fight at the end. So, you tell me there's no other actresses you could have gotten for this villain? If she could fight, at least you'd be, okay, they hired her because she could fight. But that's not even the case in this movie, so... I mean, this is the person that murdered your fiancé. Give her a bit of punishment. Goes them back and forth, and maybe you're losing, you're bloodied up, and then you go back, you're punching, you're kicking her, do one of your scorpion kicks on her, kick her ass, I don't know. How the fuck it could be, man? Maybe the boat's leaked in, and you kick her ass off a big height onto the boat, she's bloodied up, and then... You see the gas is leaking, there's a flare gun, you shoot it, and then it goes up and blows up the boat. Do a little bit of Die Hard 2, where Bruce Willis got the thing and blew up the plane. I don't know. So the ending was pretty lackluster way to end things. If you like 90s action, if you like Cynthia Rothrock, sure, give it a look. The fight scenes at least will carry you through the film, and it's not an overly long movie. But again, the supporting characters aren't much. The one guy is a bit of a prick. What was the one line he said? Oh God, if I can remember. Well, just the one I said. You want a discount, go to Kmart, those type of lines. There's certain lines that I'm trying to remember if I wrote it down, that he'll say to try to mock or egg Cynthia Rothrock on. Maybe he was okay. But there's really not much else for the other supporting characters. There's not much to the story. I say it's fairly predictable. The other action sequences, like the car chase, the speedboats, they didn't really... Like, when I looked at Land of the Free with Jeff Speakman, I think the school bus action sequence is a pretty damn good highlight. When I looked at Deadly Outbreak with Jeff Speakman, there's a lot of good action set pieces in that. Car, you know, not even car, but I forget what those vehicles are that he drives underground. Felt bigger than you would think was his budget. Other films like Gary Daniels when he did Riot or Rage, or Jeff Wincott when he did films like Last Man Standing, they felt like there was big set pieces that looked like they would fit in a big budget theatrical picture. Didn't really feel that way in this with the other action scenes. This felt a bit on the cheaper side when it comes to this company. At least to me. I don't know why that is. Maybe 94, maybe they're slowing down, maybe they put... I thought this was PM Entertainment. I don't know for sure. Because Movie Reviewer Next Door told me, hey, this is PM Entertainment. Like, it is? So I took his word for it. So if it's not, then we're both wrong. But like I said, I mean, it's tolerable. It's average. It is what it is. But again, if you want to see Cynthia Rothrock, you probably want to first check out some of her Hong Kong stuff or the China O'Brien films first. Get your feel of Cynthia Rothrock, and then if you want to go to films like this, then you can go ahead. Because this is on YouTube for free. You want to check it out. I just wish they would have got a better director, a better villain. If the other set pieces like the horseback riding or the speedboat chase or such were a bit better in quality, more high octane in action and excitement. There you go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.